Morning everyone, it's nice and early on a Tuesday morning. Big road trip today, doing about 5 hours of driving, going from the Mornington Peninsula to Beechworth, so a few stops along the way for charging in Euroa and maybe one other, so we'll see how the car goes. So yeah, quite the big drive. It's about 380 kilometers we'll be doing today. This Model 3 has an advertised range, or when we got it, of 420 kilometers. So you'd think going from Mornington to Beechworth, you would just make it. And maybe if you push the car, you really would make it. But every time we've done this drive, it's added in at least one stop, depending on what level of charge we're at. So this morning, we're currently at 99%. So leaving with a full battery. And it's planned a stop at the supercharger in Euroa. And then it's sort of estimating we'll be able to make our way onto Beechworth and arrive with about 40% battery, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it's just interesting because the first time I planned this trip, I assumed being 380 kilometers that maybe we would be able to make it in one go. But unfortunately not. Highway driving, especially doing 110, which the Hume Highway is, it does suck a lot out of the battery, more than we expected it to. So yeah, any long road trips like this, you'll find that you're maybe stopping at charges more than you expected you would. Luckily, I have some good podcasts lined up for the trip. Currently listening to Ride the Lightning, unofficial Tesla podcast. That's a really good one. I love Dave Lee with investing. He talks a lot about Tesla stock, and he has some really great interviews and guests on his show. Tesla Daily is another good one. So yeah, I mean, my whole trip will be taken up with Tesla podcasts probably. And thankfully, I'll have Autopilot to take a bit of the fatigue out of the long road trip. All right, so I've just stopped in Brunswick to catch up with a friend, and now it's time to hit the road again, going from Brunswick to Euroa, the supercharger there. It's going to take an hour and 45 minutes or so. Every time I come to the city, it amazes me how many Model 3s are on the road. We're not used to seeing this many where we are. All right, so we've just pulled into the Tesla supercharger here in Euroa. The battery is currently at 22%. The time is 2:16. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Let's see how long it takes to charge. Nice quiet day here at the supercharger in Euroa. It is a version 2 supercharger, so it's a little bit slower than the new ones, but we shall see. Euroa would have to be one of our favorite superchargers to stop at. It's very beautiful here, and it's relatively easy to get to off the freeway, so perfect stopover. There's some good shops, good lunch spots, and now stretching the legs, going for a quick walk as well. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but 2 hours of driving is enough for me to want to have a quick break. This is why an electric vehicle hasn't really changed our road tripping much, because we're stopping anyway. And before we got the Tesla, we used to stop in this town with the dogs, take them for a little walk, stretch the legs, so hasn't really made much of a difference. There's a nice little 10-minute walk that you can do just around the river. Perfect for getting back to the car when it's charged up a little bit. So if you ever stop in Euroa, would recommend. All right, it is 2:29. I can hear the car from here because I've got the aircon on while we're charging. Let's see what percentage we're on. All right, we're on 66%. So that's a pretty decent charging rate. It means that I can now continue on with my trip. It does actually say enough charge to continue with trip, which is cool. Nice little message. Oh. Jeepers. All right, so we're pulled over on the side of the freeway in a safe trucking stop. And I've always wanted to do this, where you basically 110 on the Hume, and you come out of an exit, a little short exit like this, and really get to give the car a bit of a kick of the pedal. So let's see how it goes. So for those of you that haven't used Tesla's Autopilot before, when you go to change lanes, the Autopilot will disengage, but the adaptive cruise control stays on automatically at that set speed. So it does make overtaking cars on the highway really easy, because once you get back into your lane, you just double tap to get Autopilot back on again. So I feel like that's a really good feature. The only feedback would be when you are overtaking a slow car on the highway, and I'm sure many of you have noticed this, it takes a while once you get in that right lane for the adaptive cruise control speed to pick up. So often you'll find you just need to put your foot on the accelerator to give the car a bit of a push forward. But yeah, super simple once you get back into that left lane to just re-engage Autopilot. Interestingly, for the first 6 months of owning this car, every time we engaged Autopilot, we pulled down on that stalk the whole way. And now we realize that you just need to do 2 little light taps on that right-hand stalk and Autopilot engages. All right, so we have just arrived in Beechworth at 4 p.m. It is 17 degrees and the battery is on 34%. So a big day of driving. I left the Mornington Peninsula at 9 a.m. I've arrived in Beechworth at 4 with several stopovers, but you can see from this that doing 110 on the Hume Highway does zap a fair bit out of the battery. So worth knowing for any new Tesla owners. All right, the car is on charge for the night. It is very fresh here in Beechworth. It's like a ghost town here at night time. Morning everyone. Nice chilly start to the day here in beautiful Beechworth. The reason I'm actually here is I'm likely to be helping out with the Bilsons TikTok account and doing a little bit of social media for them. All right, so I've just done a full day of filming with Bilsons Brewery, which has been a lot of fun. I'll link their new TikTok account, which I'll be helping them create videos for, down below in the description, hence the t-shirt and the cap. Day 2 in Beechworth, cold and wet this morning. Off to get some brekkie. All right, my time in Beechworth has come to an end. It's time to hit the road now. Got about a 4.5 hour journey back towards Mornington Peninsula. So I will stop at Euroa again and charge up. All right, we're pretty much all charged up here in Euroa, about to hit the road again. Just met a lovely Model X owner, had a good chat about the differences between the two cars. There is something nice about stopping at supercharging stations and getting to chat with other Tesla owners. All right, so we are back home with 26%, used about 60% on the 3-hour drive from Euroa. opening everything on the Tesla. All right, so I've actually been sent this really cool product from AstroAI. They reached out to me and I was very happy to accept a brand new portable air compressor. So let's open it up now and give it a shot. So if you guys remember our last road trip where we actually ran into some problems trying to inflate the tires at a local service station on the highway, well, this new portable pump should hopefully alleviate any of those stresses because A, we'll know how to use it, B, we'll be able to carry it with us everywhere, and C, we can use it at home before or after a long road trip. So I think this is going to be good. Let's put it to the test and see how it goes. Good news is it seems to be working very well with the aero caps still on. We're not needing to remove those to inflate the tires, which is so good. All right, so it took me a little bit longer to work out how to use it for the first time, but once I got it up and running, it's actually really quick, a lot quicker than our experience has been at the service station. I will link this air compressor below in the description if you want to get one for yourself, or if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me. I've had a good play around with it now. The only way you can power this thing is through the cigarette lighter inside the car. So it's completely portable, basically. There's no other option. But yeah, it seems like a pretty good design. So the car is clean, tires are inflated. That pretty much wraps up what has been an epic 3 days of driving across regional Victoria. I hope you found this video interesting, a bit of a longer format than normal. So hit me up in the comments if you prefer this, and I'll catch you guys soon in the next video. All right, have a good one.